Hi, it's Levon. Welcome back to my channel and to Step by Step. Had a little snafu, so I had to redo the video for you, part one of this week's checkered rose table. So I had a table given to me. Well, actually, I saw it on Marketplace for free. So I went and got it, and I thought it was really cool that they put on there, I disinfected this for you. But disinfecting and cleaning are not the same thing. So of course I used our Dixie Belle's White Lightning and diluted it in water and sprayed the piece, and you'll see how much dirt I get off of it. There was actually some sticky stuff on it, but I will list all of the Dixie Belle products that I use in this project in my description box. So that's my affiliate link for these products. So you don't pay any more and I make a little bit of money. So I appreciate you helping my small business as well as helping my channel by liking and sharing and subscribing if you haven't already. I sure do appreciate that. So now I come in to rinse it. So I use a mister bottle and just spray it pretty generously and then wipe it down again. Sometimes I get more or as much dirt from this step as I do from the first step, but it was actually somewhat clean. I've definitely had pieces that were not this clean, but I'm glad I did this step because it's always the first thing you want to do so that paint will adhere to it. Ta-da! Okay, so I flipped the table upside down, and I'm actually using another Dixie Belle product first called Boss. And Boss blocks odors and stains, and I'm using it so that it won't bleed through the tannins in the wood because it's a cherry piece. So I'm going to use a color called Drop Cloth in the area that I'm coating with Boss. On the other area, I'm going to use a color called Caviar, which is Dixie Belle's Blackest Black. So I won't need to put the Boss on those areas. So I'm going to be blending the black, which is the Caviar, into the drop cloth, or the white. So I'm pulling the drawer out just long enough to get that piece up top, but then, and I probably really wouldn't have to do it because after I did it, I saw that it wasn't coated from the factory because you won't see it. You know, it's funny, I typically don't paint the backs of my pieces. My rule of thumb is anywhere they painted at the factory, that's where I paint. If they didn't paint, I don't either. So that's how I do it. Weird painting a drawer upside down, and yes, I am painting over the hardware. It's a pretty simple piece. I'll show you my inspiration at the end, but basically what I'm going to be doing is blending on the legs. So I'm applying the Caviar. Oops, I forgot I had my mask on. I've been working in the store, so I just resumed painting after helping a customer. So just covering these areas. No rocket science here. I think these are called cabriolet legs, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty curve, and I won't put you through painting the coat of drop cloth on there. But what I will have you watch is a little bit of the blending. That's the part you came for, right? So blending, some people struggle with it. And you know, I'll be honest, I do too. I was struggling on this piece at first until I got my groove. So typically you take one color with one brush. So for instance, the Caviar with one brush, and then the drop cloth with another brush, and then you take a neutral brush, in this case the Belle brush, and then blend the paint together using horizontal, vertical strokes, and maybe some squiggly, whatever works for you. In this case, it was leaving a hard line, if you can see that. So it wasn't blending out for me. I add more paint, and finally in this case it didn't start happening for me until I coated it and then used the neutral brush without the mist. See, I start getting a really nice blend here, and that line pretty much disappears. So don't be afraid to try that, and don't be afraid to keep working it, but also if it looks good, step away. I've also learned, so if the middle part looks good, let it go. Then come back and do just where the colors meet, like one at a time. Then again, come back and redo it in the middle, if that makes any sense. It's trial and error, but just my best advice I can give you is don't be afraid of it. You know, just keep doing it, because the more and more you do it, the better and better you will get at it. So again, I think because I was working on such a tiny area, so I know I went back to that leg, but I was working from one side then the other, so the legs being dimensional, I had to do all sides of them and then blend that together. So just don't be afraid of it, and just keep trying it. If you want to learn to blend, just practice. Practice is the best technique in my book. So, and again, I'm kind of going over what I went over. I did end up being pleased with my results, though, on this. So I kind of had to do the side, but yet incorporate it into the other side. So you can't really see on the picture that, so the front of the leg is curved, and then the back of the leg is kind of two-sided. It sort of comes into a point. So essentially it's a three-sided leg. So I just continue to work that around all four legs, and that's what I ended up with. So I'm now going to show you the inspiration. That's a wine glass. I was recently commissioned to do wine glasses for a bachelorette party and give them instruction on it. And I just love this little design. So I'm going to do the top next week on step by step. So I hope you'll come back and see. Hopefully we won't have any technology problems. I really hope you subscribe. I thank you so much for watching, and also join us on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock when I go live from my computer. So I need 1,000 subscribers so I can go live from a camera or a phone. Join us at lavintagedecor.company, and on Facebook, LaVintage Decor Altoona, and on Instagram, we're LaVintage Decor. Thanks, and stay well.